And the whole point of what I saw with Ronnie in my arms was that so many Christians, so many white Americans, nearly all of the world, would see a fool and a whore. She's not a whore. I'm not a fool. She's a queen and I'm a king. And for anybody, people like John Qualtrough, who was the fucking preacher of the U.S. military, no offense to the military, but to John Qualtrough, I love you, buddy, but you did exactly what God told me people like you were going to do. And before I fucking ever respect your opinion or anything you got to say, you called Ronnie a whore to my face. You remember that? You remember. You made racist comments and you didn't even know they were racist. You also, when I was in your house, I was watching Unforgiven. And you were a cowboy, or, and you served. Thank you for your service. But I was watching Unforgiven. You come into the living room, say, "Oh, see, Chris, I want you to be like these guys. They just know what's right." And then you told me a story about when you were a cowboy. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't say this at the time because I'd already figured out this guy is just like other people in my life. He's never going to listen to a word I say. He's kind of like my father in a way. I mean, and he's kind of like, to me, the apostles and the church fathers who came after Yeshua, after his death, and who edited out parts of his life so they could kick out women of the church. Anyway, so I'm watching this fucking Unforgiven, one of my favorite movies. And you're talking to me about me being more like those guys. And those are the guys that cut up a woman. And it was okay because she was a whore. Those are the guys that William Money kills. Because he's kind of an anti-hero. Unless you did that on purpose, which you didn't. You just didn't see me at all. And everything that came out of your mouth when you were talking to me about me caused me to lack some I don't respect you a whole lot. I love you, but you got a lot to learn. I had a friend one time, at least I thought I did. No, just kidding. We were at Trader Vic's when I was younger. I lived with him, and I loved him to death. We're sitting around, and he goes, Evans, he's an idiot savant. Idiot savant, that's a pretty derogatory term for someone who's got autism. And I don't have autism, but it's still a derogatory term. He just didn't understand the meaning of it. He thought it was somebody who was idiotic and knew a lot. Because he's an idiot savant. You know why? Because 90% of what he says is idiotic and 10% of what he says is brilliant. And I laughed. And I said, no, you just only understand 10% of what I say. And everybody else laughed. One time I was in your car, John, and I said something about cognitive programs or something. And you said, well, usually what you say is pretty idiotic, Chris. But that was pretty smart. And I thought to myself, no, John, you just understood that. That's all. That's pretty much how it is. No offense. But you didn't listen. And you didn't see me. You didn't see a real fairy tale. You saw a fool. You saw a fool and a whore. Then you told me as much. And then you had all over fucking San Francisco. And this whole Don Quixote thing. Don Quixote's fine. But I'm not Don Quixote. In fact, Don Quixote, his name became synonymous with someone who's so idealistic that he's foolish, quixotic. He saw windmills as dragons and horses, queens. Ronnie is really my queen. I'm just trying to win her heart by slaying real dragons. And I baptized a fucking cop car. Went into the belly of the beast to slay the new Jim Crow, which is a real dragon. And I'm a real outlaw, or a real Robin Hood, a real king for a real queen, to show everyone that we ought to live in a society that is so democratic that it respects the self-sovereignty of the kings and queens who are sovereigns over their bodies, who have self-ownership, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that's a real democracy. But you didn't respect my self-ownership, and you didn't respect me as a man, and you wanted to make decisions for my body, for me, for my story, for everything. No, you don't get that. You don't get that. Because I'm a king. My dominion is my body, my life, my liberty, my pursuit of happiness. And I have a queen. Her name's Ronnie Ann Cooper. And she's not a whore. And if you ever, anyone ever, questions that, I'll come after them. And I will always, always remember that.